Eczema taught me to be brave. Eczema taught me to be patient. Eczema taught me to be resilient. Eczema taught me community. Eczema taught me confidence. Eczema taught me that I have control over the outcomes in my life. Eczema taught me faith. And it's in these things that I want you all to see the beauty of what eczema can actually give you. And it's definitely not all bad. And while you may feel down and you may feel ugly or not confident or self-conscious, I'm telling you right now that this is going to be the most amazing thing that you get through in your entire life. It can truly transform your whole life. And it's not even in overcoming it. It's not even, I learned all of those things not at the end, but while I was going through it. And I'm going to tell you guys all of that. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Mills. I wanted to actually film a different video today, but I just got off of the phone with a really inspiring woman, and I was then inspired to make this video instead of the other video. And it's just because I feel it, and I feel like when you have something sitting in your heart, it's the time to say what you need to say. And so I wanted to tell you guys all the different ways that eczema is actually a blessing. And I'm going to talk about that in aspects of health-wise, aspects of emotionally, physically, mentally, and I wanted to inspire you because I don't think eczema always has to be the worst thing in the world. It doesn't have to be, it's miserable, of course, and I don't want to invalidate that, but also you don't always have to look at it as a bad thing. I think eczema is one of the best things that ever happened to me, as bizarre as that sounds. So let's jump into today's video. I wanted to just tell you guys to be easy on yourselves, give yourselves a lot of self-love. I want to build this community of people who are taking the positive route to healing their eczema and healing their skin, because yes, your diet and your lifestyle can be as perfect as can be, but if your mindset isn't there, you're really not going to heal to the best of your ability. So tell yourself that you love yourself, tell yourself I am amazing, and let's jump right into this video. So the first aspect, of course, you guys know me as someone who always talks about diet and lifestyle, mostly how to heal through diet. Well, starting there, I always tell every single client that eczema is a blessing. Eczema is a blessing because our bodies are telling us usually so early in life that there isn't the right things happening inside of our body. And being able to take initiative and course correct, you're setting yourself up for a life of health. You're setting yourself up for avoiding cancer and diabetes, stroke, heart attack, so many of these other diseases that occur without any notice for years. We're so lucky that our bodies said, hey, there's something that's wrong here. We need to fix it. And we're so lucky that our bodies are giving us that opportunity to fix it. Had I not learned all the things that I learned about eating correctly and not having refined sugar when you have eczema and how to reverse it, getting rid of gluten and dairy and all these things, I probably would be pre-diabetic, if not fully diabetic by now. I actually used to have hypoglycemia because the amount of sugar that I consumed was so massive, it messed up my insulin's relationship with the cells, my glucose levels, all of that, which is all related to diabetes. It could have turned into something much more life-threatening than what actually happened. And I am so thankful that I have course corrected, because I was on a fast track to getting all sorts of issues later in life. Because I think a lot of people think that your genes are the only reason you end up with cancer. And yes, your genes kind of tell you what type of cancer that you can get and whether you're gonna get cancer or not, or you're more likely to get it, but it's your lifestyle changes and your diet changes that can turn off and on those genes, which is called epigenetics. Moving on to something a little bit less diet related is, I wanted to tell you how eczema taught me community. I was raised in the country as an only child. My closest neighbor was not close at all. my closest neighbor, you had to take a good long half-mile walk to my neighbor. I grew up with parents who always taught me to not tell everybody my business. And it's funny because eczema taught me what community looks like. I had never had a large group of friends. I always had like 1 or 2 close friends, always kept things to myself, always felt isolated in a lot of situations. And eczema taught me that, oh my God, I don't have to be alone. While I did in fact have to go through eczema alone, I refused to let anybody else go through it alone. And so now I've built this beautiful community of people who are encouraging each other and talking to each other, and they're from all over the world. And it taught me how powerful it is when your community builds you up. Because not only do I heavily support my community, but they support me too. And that was such a beautiful, beautiful thing that eczema gave me. And there's so many, if you feel alone, go and join a Facebook group. Look out for meetups. There's an eczema expo that happens every year. There's so many different opportunities for you to get out there and feel that community because it is there. Eczema taught me patience and resilience. These are some things that I learned while healing. You don't heal overnight. It could take months. It could take years. Healing your eczema is something that you have to be strong. You learn how to be strong. I think when you have eczema, you learn that things aren't just going to happen when you snap your fingers. You learn that things don't come to you by magic. I feel like if you've never had the lesson that you have to work towards something, eczema teaches you that lesson, and I think it makes you into a stronger person. You can apply the things that you learn from eczema to so many areas of your life. To get that job you want, you have to work towards it, and you work towards it every day, and you make the choices every day. You decide, I'm going to be this certain person, and you make steps towards that every single day. It's exactly like healing eczema. Eczema taught me faith. Eczema taught me the power in my faith and my spirituality, and I feel like eczema healing and going down this journey led me to being in a place where I finally feel like I understand myself spiritually. And I think for a lot of people, it's their faith that gets them through the whole thing. When you're in so much pain in the middle of the night, you just think to yourself, like, I have faith. This isn't going to be forever. I don't have to deal with this forever. I don't have to be dependent on drugs forever. I can do this. I have faith, and you just let go, and you just take that faith and you let things happen, and that is amazing. I feel like I'm so much more connected to myself from learning this whole thing than I've ever been in my entire life. Eczema is such a blessing in disguise. I have just became a person that I so love, and it's not because my skin is clear, it's because I went through it. Had I not gone through it, I don't even know if I would be an entrepreneur right now. I don't even know if I would feel like I found my calling in life, because this is my calling in life. I mean, eczema has transformed my whole life and brought me to some of my lowest moments, but it taught me how to find good relationships. People that'll support me through me inconveniencing them because I can't go out all the time. I learned how to transform my social life to being food-oriented, to taking walks with people, going to do activities, going bowling, going to the beach. And I've learned so much. And the thing that I'm currently actively learning is how to relieve stress. I still deal with stress to this day, and I'm teaching myself right now how to deal with it. And had I never had the connection with eczema, I don't know if I would have ever came to this point where I actually understand how to relieve my stress. And I think you learn yourself mentally when you have eczema, because eczema is so related to your mental state as well. And I wanted to just give a shout out to a beautiful soul that I met today. We video chatted, and she inspired me all over again to keep doing this from my heart. This whole community has my heart. I am going to try and make some really big changes, give you guys what you need. And I want to give you her name and her social, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. Her name is Ashley, and her handle on Instagram is Ashley Ann Laura, and I'll put that right here. She is a beautiful, beautiful soul. She went through topical steroid withdrawal. She's taken Dupixent before. She comes at eczema from the emotional side of it. How trauma that you've dealt with in your past can manifest itself now through stress and anxiety, and manifest through eczema, and how to heal your mental and emotional self. And so I really want to give her a big shout out because she's a really, really beautiful person, and I feel better and inspired now to keep on my journey, helping you guys, building my community, fighting for what I believe in, talking how I believe, and letting everything else go. So if you deal with a lot of, I've met so many people with eczema who have such a history of like family trauma or past trauma from generations. So go check out her socials, shoot her a message, anything. I hope you're starting to see all the blessings that eczema can give you, because eczema is no joke. And I read some statistic about the suicide rates of people with eczema, and they're very high, and that's very scary. And I know how it feels. I've been there. I've been through it. I know how it feels, but working on your mental state and your gratitude towards this whole thing every day, I promise you, eczema is one of the greatest things you can ever overcome. So take a deep breath, take care of yourself, do whatever you need. Communicate, interact with your community, find people like-minded to you, find people that'll support you. Change, you have control over your life. You can change any part of it that you want. If you think that where you are is where you'll permanently be, change that right now. You can change any aspect of your life. I have transformed so much of my life, and I'm in a completely different place than I ever thought I would ever be. And just work on your faith and work on yourself, and realize that eczema is one of the biggest blessings you've ever been granted. You got this. You will get through this. You're a beautiful person, and together as a community, we can grow and we can do this. So that came from the heart. I will see you guys in my next video next week. It will be, I have all these beauty supplies around me. I'm going to be doing non-toxic beauty, and it has a lot to do with how to detox your life. But I will see you guys next week in that video. Bye! Thank you so much for watching that video. I'm now gonna go over all the different things that I offer and how I can help you further. So if you're looking for a support group, I do have a Facebook support group called Healthy Skin, Happy Living. It's an awesome community full of people all over the world. It's very diverse, and people go in and just ask each other, you know, I have this problem, is it normal, and am I okay? And so people will be like, yeah, I went through the same thing. So if you're looking for a little bit more specialized help, I do have a self-help guide. So if you're somebody that's like, I can do this myself, I know what I'm doing, all I need is a guide, then I do offer that on my website. Just go to coachmichellemills.com/self-help, or just go to coachmichellemills.com and explore the different options. If you need even more help than that, I do have coaching programs. It's for eczema specifically, inflammation-related disorders and diseases as well, and I help coach you through that. It is a very specialized coaching. There is a video on my website that goes in depth. So I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, I have a lot of stuff going on, and I can help you in such a large range of ways. And if you shoot me a message on Instagram, my handle currently is @MichelleMills_. It will be changing to Coach Michelle Mills very soon. Send me a direct message, and I will add you to a support group messenger on Instagram. And everyone is amazing, still very diverse, very supportive, and I'll see you guys there. See you in my next video. Bye!
Crashing waves.